Anyone else know? Yes?
For inspiration and recognition of science and technology.
Thank you. For inspiration and recognition of science and technology, it's a nonprofit that was started in the U.S. and is now all over the world. And there are three main areas. So we're talking today about First Lego League, but this morning we had a First Tech Challenge, which is for high school, upper middle school and high school, and then First Robotics competition is for the higher levels in high school. So today we're talking about First Lego League, but just know that after you finish First Lego League and after you graduate from grade 8, you can go on to First Tech Challenge and First Robotics competition, and that way you can really keep going at robotics all through high school. Okay, so it doesn't stop with the First Lego League. Just to explain what First Lego League is, it is a partnership between First and Lego Education, and it's been going on for 30 years. They've been at this for more than 30 years with the launch of Lego's first Mindstorm kit. And now it used to be just one program, now it's 3 programs, starting at Discover, which is for kindergarten, Explore, which is for grades 1 to 3, and then the challenge. Right? So we're going to talk about the challenge for today, but if you have younger brothers and sisters or friends, they can start in those junior levels. We have some examples on the table over there in the corner. It's a lot of building, and there's some robotics involved in the Explore. But today we're going to talk about the First Lego League Challenge. And the reason I love the First Lego League as a parent and as a senior mentor is that there's so many incredible skills that they learn besides the technical skills, including engineering, problem solving, coding, science and innovation, holistic skills, and teamwork. And we're going to hear more from some of the alumni that are going to be here with us today. So just to give you an overview of this season, and you can check out firstroboticsbc.org for more details. But we start the season with season launch, and that's when in August, the table that you see here in front of you, that is revealed, and so teams can start registering. We usually have a September kickoff, and then we start registering and setting up teams. We then move to regional qualifiers, and we'll get more details about this. Because of the large amount of teams in BC, and because the championship can only host a certain number of teams, we have to have qualifiers so that only a certain percentage of teams move to the championship. So that typically happens in December or January. It's typically a one-day event, and you compete just like a normal competition, and a certain percentage of teams move on to championship. So by December, you want to have your team, you want to have the robots built, you want to have a few missions, it doesn't have to be all of them, and you want to have your projects relatively in place. And then the percentage of teams that pass qualifiers go on to the championship. And that's typically in February, where you have provincial tournaments. It could be a 1 to 2 day event. Normally it's in person. Last year it was remote. This year we're planning most likely to have in-person events. And from the championship, typically we go to 1 or 2 teams get invited to the World Championship in Houston, Texas. And that's typically in April for 3 to 5 days. You have to fundraise a lot to get there, because it might be expensive for your team to get there, but it can be done, and we can talk more about that. And that's sort of the full cycle. There's a few more things to it, and a few more elements, but any questions about the season just right now? Yes?
The February provincial tournament in Victoria like normal, or is it going to be somewhere else?
We're trying to we have veterans representation here. We're trying to host it in Vancouver, specifically because there's so many teams in the interior that are also competing, and so like someone in Kelowna, they have to come all the way to Victoria. That's just like really far for them. So Vancouver is a little bit more central. You don't have to take the ferry. Traditionally done in Victoria, but we're trying to make it in Vancouver. Often it's about the location, finding the right location, but we're hoping Carrie can help us out here. She has how many teams registered? 8. Wow. Yeah, so, and then we have 10 teams in Richmond with Robo Planet, so we definitely have a lot of representation for right now. Okay, any other questions? Yeah.
How many kids are left in the ship?
Right. So that's going to be announced soon. December is tight, but remember, we're really trying to just, it's a good incentive to really work hard in October, November. You don't have to have everything right. I don't know the percentage. I think it's, typically we have about 30 teams at the final, and maybe there's 40 teams registered. So it's really, it's maybe 8% belong, something like that. So it's not a really small percentage. So I think if you have a team, if you have you can do subdivisions, if you can have a team spirit and projects to present, then you should be pretty set. But we'll give you more details about that. Anything else? Just to explain a little bit about First Label League, and then I'm going to get the team to come up. What we're talking about is 3 main components to First Label League: the core values, the robot game, and the project. Those are the 3 main components of the game. The robot game is the most exciting and the most fun for the kids, but the judges are really looking for, do the kids work good together? Do the teams work well together? Do they have gracious professionalism? Do they have really good teamwork? And is everyone involved? Is everyone participating? They're also going to look at your project and can you research a topic related to the challenge and present it. So they'll be looking for those 3 things. And at every competition and qualifier, you'll be going to the judging rooms for these 3 things. So you're going for robot game is obviously the main competition, but you're going to be going to judging rooms for these things. Let me bring up. You guys want to come on?
Sure.
So we're going to bring up a team here to present. And I'm just going to. So we have an alumni team here from all over the Lower Mainland. Why don't you come up on the screen, and here's your flag. And speak really loud.
Hello, I'm Kevin. I'm David. And I'm Sue. And we are a FLL veteran team. We are now in the FTC, and this is a picture of us last year of FLL. Today we'll be sharing our knowledge and giving you guys some advice on the upcoming season. We'll start off with David to talk about robot.
Alright, so robot game teams have to build a robot purely from Lego pieces, and they have to program it to complete missions on the field. Each mission will grant some points, and the points vary from mission to mission. Each round is 2.5 minutes long, so you need to make sure that you make the most of your time. The strategies for robot design: the robot should have a compact driving base that's sturdy, happens should be easy to put on and take off, so that you don't waste any time. Like I said, now we'll see how the reading project. ACC student project.
Like we said, one of the three main focuses of FLL is project. Teams each season are required to identify a problem related to the season's theme. This can also be a smart question that can be answered at the end of the project. Teams must research existing solutions and they come up with their own solution or improve upon another. Obviously, there's going to be problems with your own solution, so teams are also required to troubleshoot them and eventually build a prototype to demonstrate to the judges. This year in Cargo Connect, teams will have to find problems and solutions on transportation. Very exciting. Teams are also recommended to meet up with experts in their community. Researchers, scientists, journalists, they can all be really crucial for solution finding, problem solving, and finding solutions. It's also really important to reach out to the community, tell them what you're working on and how this can affect, general neighborhood. Sharing of knowledge, awareness, and support can also be very beneficial during the presentation performance. This is an example of us. For our last year of FLL, it was into orbit. As you can tell, it was a space theme season. And our team decided to focus on solving problems on long-distance satellite charging. Most satellites are charged with solar energy, so we decided to use mirrors to reflect the sunlight for long-distance charging. We came up with formulas for focus magnitudes, but like everything, there were problems such as prices and manufacturing issues. Our team managed to get to Worlds in Texas, and for our presentation, we decided to dress up as planets and spheres, as you can see at the bottom left picture. And it was quite an experience, and it's only one out of millions of possible ways teams can come up with a creative way of demonstrating their solution. And I'll
we had a presentation. I think this was your presentation. Thanks for showing that. Okay.
And now I'll have Lucia to finish it off with core values.
Okay, so core values is equally as important as project and robot. You want to have a stable and healthy relationship with other teams and team members and the community. Whether it's in competitions or leagues, you always want to be respectful of everyone around you, even if it's, especially if it's opponents and people just looking at your thing and asking questions about project or your robot. And you want to respectfully and politely explain your project and your robot with detail and creativity really goes a long way first. You want to have at least one thing to represent your team, such as custom hats, and the creative ways of representing your project or having a creative of your robot and your project thing that we did there goes a long way. You never want to be shy in competitions. Competitions are like you want to be extroverted and really have team spirit during those competitions because you really want to express yourself. Okay, every team's gonna have this moment where you guys are in 4 to 5 hour meetings and at least a few of you are gonna be tired. So that's why you want to keep up team morale and have like some breaks, like 15 to 30 minute break of re-energizing with food and just rebooting your brain after all the work you guys have. Hanging out outside of meetings and competitions is really good for teams to boost their chemistry, such as our team after that competition we went and did an escape room to improve for fun and to improve our team. You never want to aggravate your teammates or disrespect them ever because it just takes away, it's not core values at all. It's not right. And it's just not good. Teamwork, everyone needs to know about the project and the robot. Everyone has to have a good ratio share in what you guys have built or done with the robot, and everyone needs to know about the project because in judging, the judges will ask one thing out of random that they choose. They have to explain, or have to either answer the question or just explain the project a little. Now, operational professionalism is the main thing, it's one of the main things at first. Operational professionalism is when you're competitive during the competition, but still treating the community and your opponents with respect and kindness. An example would be, let's say you guys had a really good run in the field, and then another team comes after you and they don't do that great. You can still celebrate, but you don't want to rub it in their faces, and you want to have like, a good amount of celebration so they don't feel bad. Any questions?
Okay. Is that your presentation?
The robots have fun and try to be number one.
Yes. Okay. So basically around to if you want to ask them some questions, and we also have RoboPlanets, they're a returning team, so you can ask them questions. Any RoboPlanets, do you have any other comments to add? Think about it and I just have a few more things to talk about. Okay. Yeah, any more questions? I just have a few more things, and we have a few videos to show about Cargo Connect. So like Forces of the Galaxy, they talked about core values. So you can find the list of core values on the website. Make sure your team studies about that. Make sure your team really understands that concept of gracious professionalism. So as a coach, you really want to encourage them to you compete hard but treat people with respect, sort of that balance. And there's also this idea of cooperation, which is sort of combining cooperation with competition. And so that's really one of those core values at first. I'll share the slides later with you. And so core values are definitely a huge thing. And then, like they said, innovation project is definitely part of your team. Maybe you want to get one of your team members to focus on leading the research project, someone who really likes doing that kind of research. So get different team members to focus on different things. Everyone needs to participate, but maybe you can have specialties where different team members focus on different aspects of the game. But ultimately, everyone needs to show up and really know about all aspects of the team. And then, like they said, robot game is a big part. Brainstorms is one of the things. So I'm going to talk about the other sets of it later. So just in case you haven't seen it, this season's theme is about Cargo Connect. And so here's a short video. So the theme is going to be around transportation and logistics, and your project is going to be about some of the issues and problems that we have in logistics. And there's a whole bunch of them these days, as you know, COVID and supply chain problems. And so it's an opportunity for your team to really research that. Here is another short video about really explaining the topic in the project. Awesome. Okay, so that's the sort of the project. That's a good example of competition. So the final thing, and then we'll be breaking into some workshops, is to really understand the robot missions. And we're going to watch your video about all the robot missions, but as we're watching it, think about you don't need to accomplish every single mission on the team. Typically, a seasoned team that has been doing this for 3-4 years will be able to accomplish everything. But if you're a rookie team, just think of the easiest ones to do, and maybe it's just 2 or 3 missions that you can accomplish. So don't be overwhelmed by all the different missions. Even if you can do 2 or 3, that's going to be great for your first team. Okay, so we're going to watch some of the rules and the points you can score on the missions. is one of your first things as a team is to look at the map from a robot game perspective and just determine what area of the map are you going to focus on. Maybe the areas closest to the home are the easiest missions to do. And so think of how you can be strategic in trying to do several missions in one run. That's often the best way to do that. You also look at all the black lines, the black and white lines. Maybe you can use the color sensor to follow the black line. And so as a team, you want to decide which missions do we want to do first, and which ones will we save till later in the season. Remember that you only have 2.5 minutes to do the missions on the map. So it's a strategy game that you need to think of. So that was all that we had for today in terms of the presentation. What we're going to do now is that there's some